You all have seen the sun god every day, right? We see sun god every day. How many colors are there in the light? 7 colors. And how many horses does the sun god ride in? Isn't that very interesting? So 7 colors, the Vibhya colors are nothing but the 7 horses. They not only named him as Ekachakran, the symbolic representation was with 7 horses there. And the god is white in color. And what did they say about the rainbow? Suryasya vividavarnaha pavanena vikatitaha karagra sabre. Viyati danuhu samstanaha ye drishyante tad indra danuhu. What they say is, the rainbow that we see is nothing but, we call it as Indra Danu. And people say, you all are superstitious. You call the rainbow as the Danush in the hand of Indra. We've never told that. What we've told is, when the wind actually disposes the sunlight, we see the 7 colors in the form of a rainbow. That is the explanation. Viyati Danu Samstanaha e Drishyante. The one which we see is called as Indra Danuhu. The name of it is called Indra Danus. In one seminar, a person told me, all these things we can't believe. You all are the people who said sun rises in the east and sets in the west. The sun does not even move. It's all your imagination. So, the fact of the matter is, we believe the sun moves. Uttarayana, Dakshina is the result of that. We don't say sun does not move, but we know that it is not because of that sun rises and sets. It is our perception, which is mentioned in Vishnu Purana, which is the oldest of the Purana. Here it says very clearly, Naivastamanam Arkasya. Naiva Astamanam. There is no setting, which means Arkasya is sun, Arkaha is Surya. So there is no sunset. Nodaya Sarvada Smritehe Udaya Astamanam Akyam, which means the sunrise and sunset. What are they? Darshana Darshanam Ravehe. It is only the appearance, it's our perception which makes us feel that it is sunrise and sunset. It is not reality. This concept is mentioned in not any recent thing, in Vishnu Puranam, one of the oldest existing Puranas. And here comes the biggest thing. Who invented aeroplanes, aircrafts, flying machines? You know where the problem is? Have you all heard of Pushpaka Vimana? Pushpaka Vimana comes in Ramayana. Ramayana is which yuga? Treta Yuga. Okay? 8,64,000 years is Dwapara Yuga itself. Prior to that is Treta Yuga. And in Sundaragandam, if you all go and read the Sundaraganda of Valmiki Maharishi's Ramayana, Anjaneya actually goes and sees the Pushpaka Vimana. And you should observe his statement. What Hanuman says is, this Pushpaka Vimana does not look like the normal Vimanas that I've seen. What does that mean? That means so many normal Vimanas were existent everywhere. Pushpaka Vimana looks special. It is not that Pushpaka Vimana was the only Vimana. That was a special Vimana. That is the mention. Which means Vimanas were existent much before that. We have something called as the Vaimanika Shastra. You've heard of it? Bharadwaja Muni's Vaimanika Shastra. This has 25 Vimanas mentioned in it. 25 types of Vimanas are mentioned in Bharadwaja Muni's Vaimanika Shastra. Starting from helicopters to balloon-like, flying machines, all the way to war aeroplanes, everything is mentioned there. They used to have mercury-powered aeroplanes, not petrol or diesel. Mercury-powered aeroplanes were there. And you'll be interested to know that we had solar-powered aircrafts. Today, we don't know. We stopped somewhere and fill the gas, right? People used to have solar-powered aircrafts, as you can see here. So the Vimanas had solar powers. mercury filled solar powers, they used to travel not just from one place to another, not from one country to another, but from one planet to another. They used vimanas. Isn't that interesting? And the thing doesn't stop here. We used to have these vimanas where we used to travel across the planet, we used to do everything. But people said, all this is theory. You know, it's all there in the books, it's not true. So there was one person by name Shivkar Baba Talpade during the British rule, not long back. So he wanted to prove that whatever is mentioned in our scriptures is real. So what he did, he used the Vimana Shastra and Rig Veda and built an entire aeroplane just by using this concept, a mercury powered aeroplane. He invited the kings, he also invited the British people to actually watch the Vimana take off. And you know what happened? The Vimana actually took off. It came in the newspapers also that this Vimana has made a history. There is a flying machine which really happened. And the Britishers were not surprised, they were angry. They were shocked, they were upset. As a consequence, all the subsidies given to Sri Shivkar Baba Talpade was chopped. His wife died out of misery because she could not handle the shock. He himself died after a few years because he didn't have money. All these documents, you know, the Rig Veda and other related documents, the Vaimanika Shastra, was exported. Full 8 years after that, the Wright brothers flew their first Vimana. Our Vimana was called as Marut Shaka. Everything is documented. This is the newspaper cutting of that. And today, our children study that Wright brothers actually flew the Vimana, invented the aeroplanes because we need marks. That's the reality, nothing else. And Agastya Samhita also mentions about this, which is accepted by the Minnesota University. But the fact is, Germany has taken everything from us. So the entire modern world, the development today, are nothing but what was existing earlier through our ancestors. Is that right? Are you all in sync with what I'm saying? Yes. Okay. I heard a lot of marine students are here. Okay, I have interesting information about shipping. Recently, in Lhasa, China, they found a Talapatra, a manuscript, Ole Sud. Once they saw it, they realized that it's really ancient, that it was the Sanskrit language in which it was written. So they sent it back to our country for our people to actually translate it and send it back to China. When our people translated it, they realized that the contents of the document was how to construct an interstellar spaceship. How to develop interstellar spaceship was the contents of the document. We actually translated it and sent it back to them, not long back, just a few years back. So we sent it back to them. China is now working on it as a project. China now has a research department itself for Sanskrit studies. A lot of foreign universities have departments to decode all our learning. But we do not have, anybody to touch our Saraswati Mahal library manuscripts. Okay? So that's what is here. Interstellar spaceships was the outcome of this program. Yeah. Now I was telling you about the Vimana, right? One more interesting research is going on currently. The research is, in Vaimanika Shastra, our Bharadwaja Muni has mentioned something. He says there is a paint. He's mentioned how to actually create it. He says once you paint the aircraft with this paint, the Excuse me. Thank you. Once you paint the aircraft with this paint, the aircraft will not be visible for the human eye. Okay? So he says a paint can be used to paint the aircraft. Once you paint it, it will not be visible to the human eye. Not only that, he says even a radar cannot detect the aeroplane. Now think about it, which means radar was also existing. Not only the aeroplane, he says it can't be detected by the radar, means radar was also existing. So such was the advancement. Today, they are taking that concept and they are doing a research. So what they have done is a glass-like material which can't be detected by the radar has been developed by Professor Dongre. So this is based on what Bharadwaja Muni is actually saying. Okay. So what was the first step that we learned? Being disciples. Second, disassociate. Okay. So after disassociate comes the even tougher part, which is not their mistake, our mistake. You know, I told you we have so much of knowledge. Bharatiyas are called as Jnana Bandara. We are a bundle of knowledge. But our weakness is we do not document. Even our college notes, how many of you actually prepare proper documents? Think about it. So all our age-old practices, customs, traditions, we do not know what it really is for. So when people say that it's superstition, we start believing that it is superstition. Not so. Okay? I'll show you something which is very interesting. Dvipuja Karana. Similarly, a lot of concepts. You know, straws that we use. Straws are mentioned in Mahabharata. Straws are mentioned as an example. You know, just like straws is the word we've used. So we've said that, you know, like a lotus straw, how we used to suck water, plants actually suck water from the floor. That's the explanation given. So the concept of straws were used as example means it was such a familiar thing that was happening everywhere. And the beautiful thing about the language, I said, Padapaihi, Padapaha is a beautiful word. I told you about Hridayam, right? Hridaya, the very word gives the meaning. Samyak Kritam, Sanskritam has a meaning. Bharata Desham, Bharatam has a meaning. So also, Padapaha means one which gets its nourishment through its feet. Padaihi pibati padapaha. So you can see it here, Padaihi pibati padapaha. One which gets its nourishment from its feet. Which are those? Plants, trees, etc. So the name for them in Sanskrit is Padapa. Isn't that very interesting? And people used to say, you know, Indians, they actually see the moon because we want to give children food, you know. People feed their children saying, look at the moon. So that's been our practice. That was only on one side. On the other side, Aryabhatta has explained the concept of eclipse. We had known everything, we customized it to children. It was not that because we did not know we spoke about the moon. You saw in the earlier video, because of our books, they actually could land in the moon. This is something which is mind-boggling. I told we contributed zeros, we contributed how to count, we contributed infinity. Now in the number system, try to answer me. 10 to the power of 2, how do you call it? 10 square. 10 to the power of 3? 10 to the power of 4? 10 to the power of 4 only. 10 to the power of 9? 10 to the power of 9. The numbers which we do not use commonly, we usually don't give a name for it. As simple as that. The numbers which we use commonly have a name. In Sanskrit, for all those common numbers, we usually have a name, right? So look at this. 10 square, Shaka. 10 cube, Sahasra. All that is there. It goes all the way to 10 to the power of 421 which they named it as Dwaja. Which means we were working with such huge numbers. Such huge numbers that using a name was mandatory for them. I will give you an example how we use those numbers. So this is a salutation to sun god. So how did we salute sun god? This is actually from Rigveda's Bhashyam, which is Rig Bhashyam, Rig Mantra. Shayanacharya has actually given the Bhashyam to this. So it's very simple, all of you can understand it very easily. Yojananam Sahasre Dve. Sahasranamam, what is Sahasra? 1000. Yojana is a unit of measurement. 1 yojana is equal to 9 miles approximately. Yojananam Sahasre, which means 1000 yojanas, Dve into 2, 2000 yojanas. Dve Shate, which means 200. Dve Chayojane plus 2. So what is it? 2202 yojanas. So 2202 yojanas, Ekena Nimisha Ardena. Nimisha Arda. Nimisha is the time you take to blink. Okay, it's not like second, it's slightly different from second. The time taken to blink. That is Nimisha. Ardha Nimisha. In half a minute. The one who comes at the speed of 2202 yojanas in half a minute, what do I do to him? Such a Surya. Kramamana Namoste. Such great Surya. Now this person is so great. He is able to calculate the light. But what does he do? He does not boast about himself. He says, to that Surya, Kramamana Namostute. I salute that Surya. So it is not only the scientific knowledge, it is the devotion which makes us stand apart. It is the humility which makes us stand apart. So he says, to that Surya, I offer my salutations. Okay, so you can see the calculation here. 1 yojana is actually 9 by 1 by 16 miles. 1 nimisha is actually 16 by 75. So if you calculate for 2202 yojanas, the value we get is 187032.325 approx. The modern value is 186282.397. Only 5% normal curve distribution permitted difference, which means how did they actually see this in Rigveda, oldest text? How did they know this? And now what happens is, Michelson and Morley, the Americans, we believe in 1887 told us what the speed of light is. Again, it's gone from us, re-imported to us. We learned it as Michelson and Morley, the great people, they got this to us. It is actually Rig Mantra itself, Shayanacharya's Bhashyam, which explains the speed of light to us. So it is not only disassociation, we failed to document it. Now let me give you another interesting thing. How many of you have learned Pythagoras theorem? The square on the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle is equal to the sum of the squares on the other two sides. Right. Now, who was Pythagoras? He, like so many other people, was on stage 1. What is stage 1? Our disciple. So he was here as a disciple, learned from the Muni. Who is the Muni? Bodhayana. Bodhayana Sutras he learned. Bodhayana Sutra has 32 steps, 32 sutras, where it explains how do we create a Homa Kunda. So the Homa Kunda steps are narrated in 32 sutras. One such sutra explains that, there is this small, let me just go back to that slide. There is this small Homa Kunda that you can see here. Okay, suppose this has a side of A. There is another Homa Kunda here, which is slightly bigger with the side B. So what our Bodhayana has explained is, the side C is the hypotenuse, which we should measure with a rope. Now he says, C square will actually be equal to the bigger Homa Kunda's area, and you can with the help of that create the new Homagundam. That is the explanation. Now, just this part is taken which says that these two square will be equal to the C square. C square will be equal to the size of the bigger square, and we manipulated it as a Pythagoras theorem. Okay, the concept is A square, which is one small Homagunda as one side, B square, which is the other bigger side of the Homagunda. This two square will actually make this area. If you measure this diagonal, you will be able to create a bigger Homagundam whose area will be similar to the diagonal. That is the concept. Okay. Now, the application of Pythagoras theorem, nobody today actually knows, because it was for the creation of the Homagundam. And this was not only his own theorem. He says it was even before 1000 years of birth of Pythagoras, this concept was available. Okay.